And this is the beginning and the ending of a story called Blue Fly. Coming home from school on a Monday morning in spring, Sadie Evers stepped through a hole in the schoolyard fence right onto the hem of her dress. When she straightened, the left sleeve separated from its seam. Her brother, Madison, heard it rip. He turned and saw his little sister's bony shoulder naked to the world. Sadie stood trembling, her black eyes two burnt holes, the sleeve of her only school dress hanging by threads. Madison grinned. "Now you done it," he said. He picked the ripped sleeve from her arm, then let it fall again. "You should tear the other side, then they'll be the same." "Be quiet," Sadie said. "You could be a fancy woman." He leaned down, his hot breath in her ear. "You could be a bare-breasted whore." Sadie stared, stony, at her feet. "I saw this fancy woman once," Madison said. He put his arm around his sister and began guiding her along the path. She took all the feeling from a man's toes. He was sitting right there on a chair in front of the Strater Hotel. She gave him a foot rub. And when she got to the toes, you know what she done? She put 'em in her mouth. Sadie squinted at her brother. "It's true," Madison said. "One by one, she put them toes in her mouth and sucked 'em, and they were dirty. But when she was done, you know what? The man starts hollering. He says, 'I cannot feel my toes. I cannot feel my toes.' He jumps up and starts waddling like a turkey. He didn't know he had any toes anymore." Madison grinned. The woman was a witch. The sky was the color of Colorado columbine, and the fields were soft to the touch. All the way home, Madison told his sister about the witches and the world. But when the soddy came into view, he stopped talking. The door to the shack was open, the inside shadowy. There was no one in sight, but he could hear his sister-in-law, Catherine, talking to blue flies. Madison dug his hands deep in his pockets and tucked his chin as if against the weather. Something about the air began to feel dense. Something about it felt like pushing against water on a flooded plain.